Are there feelings of jealousy and inadequacy coming up on your twin flame journey? Do you feel like your twin is going to choose somebody over you? They're going to replace you. These feelings are coming from our core wound of unworthiness. And it's in healing that and understanding that we're so rare and we're so irreplaceable that we have nothing to worry about. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialize in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is a big one that we can go through on our twin flame journey. It's like when they're not in contact, when there's that silence, when we're in separation, it's like, what if they pick somebody else over me? What if they never come back? What if they replace me? And that's kind of a big one that I've been going through at the moment, is like, I'm feeling replaceable. Feeling like I'm not good enough to be chosen. Feeling like that he just doesn't want me. And we have to remember that the twin flame connection is something beyond anything we've ever experienced before. The love is otherworldly. So we can't actually replace it. We just can't. You only have one twin flame. They're your mirror soul. They're the other half of you. So you could try go with someone else. You could try replace it, but I just don't think it will ever feel as magnetizing, as powerful as it is with your true twin flame. So these feelings of inadequacy and jealousy, they're stemming from your past, from your core wounding, that feeling of unworthiness, that feeling like we're not good enough, that fear of abandonment, that fear of rejection. And not only does that stem from childhood, from our inner child wounding, it's coming from those past relationships. It's coming from that feeling of rejection, that feeling, that abuse that we got before. Feeling that we're just not good enough and that we are replaceable. And, this is coming up a lot for me lately with a lot of things that I'm going through. It's friendships as well. It's just like, I'm getting reminded of my past, really. All my best friends growing up, all of them replaced me. Do you know what I mean? It was like a third person came to the party and then I was pushed out, every single time. And, I have to keep reminding myself that it wasn't me. Do you know? And it does sound like it was, and I think this is what keeps coming up for me. Like, I same when I was a supervisor in a factory, you know what I mean? I gained a lot of friends there, and it's just like a few female ones especially. But the minute I left that job, it's like they just disappeared. And then I realized, they were using me because I was supervisor, and it's just like, and I just keep reminding myself of that. And it's just like, oh my God, was I ever good enough? Was I ever actually accepted for who I am? So that kind of fear bubbles, and I'm sure we all go through it. We're being reminded of past relationships, past friendships, where we were pushed out, times when people used us, and used us for their own benefit, and didn't actually respect us the way we wanted to be respected. And this, especially when we're on this healing journey, this transformational journey, we've had to walk away from a lot of people, and even though we've chosen to walk away from people as well for our highest good, that still triggers that abandonment and rejection wound. And this is one of the biggest things we have to heal on our journey, is that overcoming that fear of abandonment, overcoming that fear of rejection, knowing that we are worthy and knowing that we are irreplaceable. And I know I'm a unicorn. I'm sure you all have your own unique traits as well. And this is the thing, we have to own them. You're a rare person in general. You're different to everyone else. We all are. Like, we were the outcasts of the world. You know what I mean? We're completely different. And yes, we might have felt that was our downfall, but people just weren't ready for us. And this is the beauty of the twin flame connection. Your twin flame is evolving and doing the work so that they're ready for you. This is the thing. And the same vice versa. They're so rare as well. They're irreplaceable as well. Because that's the thing. Like, for me anyway, before I met my twin, I was single but unavailable. I was on this journey. I knew he was there. I knew he was with me in spirit. And I was single but unavailable. And that's the funny thing. Like, anytime anyone propositioned me or anything, it was like, no, unavailable. And the day I met my twin is funny. I obviously wasn't going, oh my God, he's my twin flame. Yes, there was this recognition, there was this instant attraction. You know what I mean? And the minute he asked me if I was single, I was like, yeah, definitely. And it was just like, what? What happened to the unavailability? Because I was only available for him. And since I've met him, it's the same. It's like, the thoughts of being with anyone else gives me the creeps. Oh, no. So that's the way they feel as well. Because it's like, you cannot replace this kind of person. And that's another thing. Like, you both match each other so well that you look back on all your past relationships. Obviously, they were toxic relationships anyway, so they weren't going to work out. But you see that every person that you ever been with or, been in a relationship with, you're like, that person was never a match to me. And you really realize that because your twin is that exact match to you, you're like, you couldn't get somebody with all those matches. You just couldn't. You can try. And I guaranteed if you did try and go for, people say that you can go for a soulmate. I just don't think you can replace the twin flame connection. I just don't. That's my opinion. And we're all entitled to our opinions. But the connection is so otherworldly. The match is on point. Like, you have boxes ticked that you didn't even know you wanted ticked, like, and you're like, wow, this person is me. And I remember when we first were in contact, like, I was like, Jesus, is he reading my mind? Well, obviously he was reading my mind, but he's also me, so therefore, he was reading his own mind because we've both got the same mind. But it's really uncanny. So, like, when we're going through these feelings of doubt, we need to remember those times. That connection is so intense. That connection is so real. That connection is otherworldly. That connection is irreplaceable. It really is. So we have to remember that any feelings of inadequacy, any of those feelings of jealousy, like, oh my God, is he going to pick somebody else? It's like, no, because how could you can try, you can try and find a replacement, but it's not going to work. It's going to end up toxic or volatile. It's just not going to work. Like, I just don't think it's possible to feel that kind of energy, that kind of love towards another person. This is my opinion again. I know a lot of people have different opinions when it comes to this, but this is my opinion. I just couldn't imagine it. No. And it would be, like, I think that's another thing, like, if you're in love with somebody, going with somebody else is so deceitful, not only to them, but to yourself. Trying to force yourself into a connection that isn't your connection is deceitful to yourself and them. And I think it's so much better to be single. If you have feelings for a person, stay single until you're with that person. And if you don't end up with that person, stay single until the feelings are gone. Because if you get into another relationship while you're in love with somebody else, this is so wrong. It's so wrong for you and it's so wrong for them. And I've heard this before, you can be in love with two people at the same time. No, you can't. If you're in a relationship and you fall for somebody else, it means you're in the wrong relationship. It's that simple. I don't think it's just, and if you think you're in love with two people at the same time, that means you're doubly with the wrong people, because you just can't have otherworldly, divine love feelings for anyone who's not your divine counterpart. That's my opinion. And they do say that if you don't end up with your twin, that you'll end up with a divine soulmate. I just don't get it. I think that if you're unwilling to do the inner work and if you're unwilling to do the healing, you end up settling because you still feel so unworthy. And you need external validation. And this is the beauty of healing that unworthiness wound. When you're in separation and single, you don't want to be with anyone else because you don't need to find that validation. Before I was on the twin flame journey, or remembered I was a twin flame, there was that need of human connection. That was the human touch. And I was like, my friend's like, oh, you have to get back on the horse. This kind of thing. And there was a time that I did feel like that. But after discovering I was a twin flame, I don't need to be validated or with another person for mediocre unotherworldly sex or unotherworldly compassion. It's just not something I want. It's not something I need. And I'm completely satisfied alone because of the connection I have with my twin flame in the 5D anyway. We're satisfying each other when we're in separation, even though we're not physically together. That's enough. And that's the beauty of healing this wound. And I think that's another thing. That's what I was just saying. I think that we get so tired of doing the work. We were refusing to do the work. And then we decide I'm going to go for a soulmate because I'm not going to do my proper healing, and I'm just going to settle because I don't want to be on my own. Whereas if you put the dedication into your twin flame journey, into your healing, your side of it, you get to a stage where you just know that it's going to happen. You trust that your twin is doing the work as well. And you trust that no matter the outcome, you're going to be happy. And that's the way I feel, and it's just this, like, you just have to remember this is irreplaceable. And as far as I'm concerned now, it was funny because I was on a course call the other day, and he was kind of joking, saying, you never know, you might meet your soulmate on this call. Everyone who's single put up their hand. And I was just like, no, I'm not putting up my hand. I don't feel single. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that, I just don't feel available for mediocre. So I'm not going to, put myself out there, because that's not what my soul wants. But my soul needs to do that inner work, the healing. So this is important. Any feelings of jealousy, any feelings of that inadequacy comes back to your own feeling of unworthiness. It has nothing to do with your twin. And that's the funny thing, we're triggered on our journey all the time. We're triggered by certain things, and our triggers are our own. Our triggers are our own to heal. And this is funny. It's funny because I have no external triggers, because my twin isn't doing anything for me to be jealous. You know what I mean? Whereas it's just my internal mind. I'm creating scenarios in my own mind, that aren't real. And it's just like, oh, what are you doing? But then I realize I have to create, because there's no external reason for me to be jealous. That jealousy is still within me. That inadequacy is still within me. So I need to be triggered somehow, because I still need to heal it. You know what I mean? Even though physically in the reality there is no other woman, or there's no one for me to be jealous, there's no reasons for me to be jealous. It's still a wound that needs to be healed. So this is the thing. If you're getting these random triggers, these are important, because these are the things that you need to heal as well. So always bring it back. Because we're always seeking ourselves, like, are they doing the work? Why are they doing this? Why are they treating me the same way as they always did? Because you keep going back, unhealed. This is the thing, we keep repeating the same cycle because we haven't done the inner work. You know what I mean? And if you go chasing your twin again and saying, oh, yeah, come on, let's go back, and then they treat you the same way as they did before, it's because you haven't healed and you're still in that reaching, that desperation energy. You have to pull your energy back. Do your own inner work, not be wondering when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen. Let it go to the universe and trust in divine timing. But if we're constantly kind of checking our phone, or if we're constantly twiddling our thumbs going, where are they? When are they coming back? Where are they when they come back? That's not the energy we should be in. We have to heal these feelings of jealousy, these feelings that we're replaceable, and come back to that knowing that we are these rare unicorns, and that we can be replaced. And it's the same, because how you feel about your twin flame is how they feel about you. And if you see them as the beautiful human being that they are, the beautiful soul that they are, and you're mesmerized by them, they're mesmerized by you. They don't want anyone else either. Even though the work is hard, they're still doing it. They're doing it not just for you, but they're doing it for themselves. Who is you? And so you should be doing it for yourself. Who is them? Do you know what I mean? We keep saying, oh, I'm doing this for my twin. I'm doing this for my twin. No, you're not. You're doing it for you. You do it for you. You choose you. And then they choose themselves. This is the point. We're not actually saying, I'm going to do the inner work so a union will happen. You're doing the inner work so you feel good. So that you're your whole best version of self. Healing is a consistent journey that we do every day. And it's just so important to remember that this is about you right now. And it's about them separately. They need to do their work. You need to do your work. And then together you will come back. But you have to overcome this feeling of being replaceable, because you're not replaceable. This journey is not replaceable. It's only ever going to be your one true twin flame. So you cannot replace them. You know that. You know in your heart and soul, your whole body, that no one else will ever be like them. That's how they feel about you. And remember, anything that's ever happened in your past, that's not going to happen now. These people weren't for you. Look back, they were all unevolved. You know what I mean? They weren't ready for your shine. And you don't want them to be ready for your shine because they're not the person that you want to be with. Even if it's just friendship. Like, you know what I mean? You're evolving and evolving and evolving. These people are not able to hold your energy. That's why things changed in the past with friends or family or otherwise. It's because they weren't ready for your shine and they weren't ready to come with you. So you're actually so good. We think we're inadequate. We're actually we're too qualified. That's the thing. And we're so qualified that we can't be replaced. And our twin is so qualified, they can't be replaced. We just need to get to that level of healing so that we can come back into union. So this is why it's so important. Do the inner work and trust the process, because it will happen in divine timing, and this connection cannot be replaced by anything else. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share. And please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today, and I'd love nothing more than to help in your path.